Welcome back to the show, everybody. So from humble beginnings through hurdles and homes, came all Yaksta Martin's ambition has pushed into new heights. He's reaping success from his labor, although some of the famed fruit from which he has farmed has been a little bittersweet. He's here to share the bumps and bruises along his journey and why he says at 29 his life is really just beginning. Yaksta. Hi, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you. There is a childlike innocence to you that I find so endearing. I don't know what to say. Has anyone ever told you that?
Oh, yeah.
And you smile and you just your whole being. Anyway, it's good to have you here today. You are here today. You're a son, you're a brother, you're a dad, a multifaceted human being. But you've been through, like all of us, some things on your journey. Growing up in St. Mary, right? Raised by your mom.
Dermally Hyde, big up her.
Yes, what's her name?
Dermally Hyde.
Dermally.
Yeah.
You said that from you were young, and this seems to me to be a part of just who you are as a very intuitive person.
Yeah.
You sensed as a little boy that some things were just not right.
Yeah.
You couldn't name them, but some things never felt right.
Off. Yeah.
The first was poverty, which you didn't know you were in until you went to Auntie.
Yeah.
But what felt not so right in that space?
It's like she was always searching, you know? But I couldn't put that like for it. As I used sometimes when things used to come from America, and like while they were sharing, to me it seems like I was happy, but for her there was some level of like inadequacy when it comes on, but I couldn't point a finger at it. You understand? Like something never sit right with her. But as time progressed, you start to get more intuitive about why is, her happiness is not really at the peak. But then when you look on like a different, like for instance, when Mike don't understand somebody used to come to school and the mother and the father is there, it was a totally different thing. But I still never understood. Because what we had is what I knew. They come to school sometimes with cook our food and if there wasn't enough money. But that was still a part of their beginnings. And when we went home and you come from school, whatever was there to provide was there. So for me, that seems like it was all that I knew. But when I started growing, other friends now I realized there's a difference. They had bigger beds. They had the luxury. But I never understood what the luxury was either. But I saw something was different. So it's just that. It's like sometimes you should just sit down and just keep and say life hard. But as time progresses, you start to understand. You start to realize the more you grow. You was a teenager now, you shot a lot of things. You have one pair of shoes or two, and then you keep and rotate them. And there's always limitations in how you actually do it. Don't wear the shirt and your stuff because they say going out shirt. You start to realize there is actually not abundance, So for me personally still, it's a joy. I wouldn't even change it neither.
You wouldn't change it?
No.
And there were 13 of you now?
Yeah. Alright. So,
from time to time, you have two siblings?
Yeah. So Kenny and Keisha.
Jesus Christ.
And Blessings died, at a tender age. So it's like she basically, and then even before us, she used to keep our sister, our other sister, which is my auntie named Pinky.
She didn't have much, but she was giving
everything. I didn't even know she still had it.
Yeah.
This is how money you get her money right now she give it.
Yeah.
So it's just a thing with her, but that's just her,
But you never grew wanting for anything. I mean, you weren't rich, but she provided.
Yeah. I was really actually, you say rich, it's relative, because acquiring wealth doesn't really bring you happiness, to be honest. You get me? No matter how much money you have, it don't really bring you happiness. It just make you privy to or give you access to certain things that you never had before. But even in the highest set of places, them are the Iraqis that you can think of. Them people them bitter.
Yeah.
Them sad. It's like them have everything and them keep on acquiring more.
Yeah.
But they grieve or crave. They crave what the young man have, are the less fortunate have, which is happiness. If you realize, even society, the upper class always try to take away the freedom which is dancehall from the people. You understand? They look up small part of them. Every single thing that brings us happiness is being stolen. If you get me.
We're getting into the philosophical yaksta early.
No.
Let's talk about your dad. And ask you where he was. You said he was somewhere. Somewhere. You don't know where, but he was somewhere.
Yeah.
And you say you have that to thank for a lot of your creativity because when your friend in my school asked you where your father there, you used to make up enough.
The people like me tell some father play game, I make game and well, when I heard that he was actually in England, I used it as a bypass, but real and truly, these are the things we actually used to use and say, alright, I come and have a father now. You have to make sure you say, well, I have certain things with stuff. And it seems like, but listen, and the rest of time, and then the moment I start understand things. So it's like these things that affect you, but one thing I thank him for is for all the siblings that I'm great, because me and all them good. You know, from Michael to Michael to Maëlia to Shade to Khadija, you know, we're all close, you understand? Because I made sure that I made that connection amongst, you know, in extension, because I don't believe in half sisters, it's just sisters.
Blood is blood.
Blood is blood,
yeah.
You understand?
But also what you took from him and also from your mother, who was very stern with you guys, is a lesson as to how to parent and not parent your own children.
Yeah.
Remember your relationship with your kids, informed by what you had with your parents.
You see, I would put myself as a trying father, but not the best father. And the reason I'm saying not the best is because I'm always away. So the limited amount of time I get to spend with them is almost like I give them gadgets, or I can pass on a small amount of wisdom to them. But to be there to nurture them is like I don't have enough time for balance both life, because they're there and I'm here. So that's real and true is like a plague to me, you know. Because a woman alone can't do it. And oftentimes we realize because society create this imprint on females whereas they make it seem like the man is not important. And real and truly, we are.
But many women have had to do it alone. What do you say to that?
No man. I'm talking just in general.
Okay.
It's not like in a sense of sexism, you know? It's like if the man them they actually wise and realize what them actually create on the earth and don't give the dogma enough time and space to invade them children, I think it'd have more substantial human beings now. But because it's always a broken home. Because you can have a home or a house that has the family, but it's still broken because one parent is always missing.
Facts.
But because the reality is you have to provide, it does take time. So it's another parent's duty to remind the youth that remember it's two of us, not one.
And so how do you deal with, we're going to break, but how do you deal with that feeling of not being there enough, even though you're working to provide for them, right? Is there guilt? How you reconcile?
It's always guilt because I understand what it is. I understand what time can do to them the same way.
Yeah.
Because remember, you know, you're supposed to always be there to take care of them, protect them in a sense. You understand? Like sometimes a man will look at me and say, boy, yaksta, I'm glad that me this big. Because I'm big enough to protect me. So it's like, the mothers don't even understand sometimes, but for me personally, I don't really make it be a bother. I just do what I have to do, and just whatever come with it or rant, I just accept it. Yeah.
Alright, we'll take a break. We're coming back with more with Yaksta. Welcome back, everybody. We're here with Yaksta. I'm talking a little bit now about how you got into the industry. You were writing from a long time, from you were small.
Yeah.
Interesting thing about that was that you couldn't really read what you was writing because you couldn't read until you were 11.
11, like every time I talk this, people might feel like I'm actually lying, but no, because I knew. Even in grade, it's like I could pinpoint certain things because I have the knowledge to understand certain things, but like if I actually read it fluently, I could not. Miss Foster in grade 4 was also a nurturer that she helped me with a lot of things, and there was also Miss Avril because I can remember them. You know, and I don't remember my grade 1 teacher, but she was very nice to me as well. I don't remember her name, to be honest, but my grade 4 and grade 3 teacher, you know, Miss Avril always pushed me, Miss Bogle, you know, but it was when I was actually moving on to high school, like before I did GSAT, like my mom sent me to OG, and I was staying by my aunt, Miss Anne-Marie Stanford. She was the one that, she took like 6 months and taught me and my cousin named Jay to read fluently, you understand, but I think it wasn't the fact that we couldn't read, we weren't focused. Because when you live at Port Murray, you know, it's like, more likes to beat me often because when I'm at the T4 they had regular. But there was so much activity there, so you understand, like the river, the seaside, the bush. Yeah, because, you know.
Yeah. So it's not that you never had the capacity, you just weren't trying.
Trying, to be honest.
Learn. But while you were with your aunt, you also discovered...
I couldn't go nowhere at all, more than if she gave me money for the movies, that was just it.
But I believe.
She was more stern, you know?
But was this the aunt where you realized that you spoke differently and you...
Yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of understood to the level of...
it was different, yeah. Because,
have and have notism that you had?
Because even though my mother was very stern, she was much more serious, to be honest. Like, it wasn't the fear, it was the respect. I love my mom and respect her, but for my aunt, it was more of, I tell you to do this, you can't do that. And it's a woman who realized she from said, at least you just get it done. So it's almost like, and I never had much friends where she were. It was like a more sophisticated environment. So from a goddess and go home, all I see was just, you get your dinner, book, and then bed.
It's interesting that you know, at 11 you're not reading, but eventually you become this very dexterous songwriter because your lyrics don't play.
Yeah.
But music becoming the ultimate stop was after a series of other things that you had done, including walking and selling clothes on the street when you feel like you couldn't bother with the 9 to 5 and the so. And the stereotypes that came with them. So you were with a girlfriend at the time.
Yeah, Vanessa Sarti.
And she was ashamed.
Yeah, like at one point when you started doing it, because her friends and everybody around her was basically, societal thinking, So it's like at that time she wouldn't even understand. Because remember we just started like 17, so I wouldn't really say it was fully in shame, but it wasn't like the top pick. It was more of a conformative job where you get a uniform and you go in an institution and then make a thing there.
Even if you're not making as much money.
But then over time, she started understanding now the difference between having a 9 to 5 and actually creating her own business for yourself. Because people don't make it seem like hustling is a business. But normally a man downtown that has the right, when I say now, salesman skills, real and truly makes more money than a man at the bank. Even the manager.
Because you said you were making like 500,000
for the tights and brassiere and panty and everything. I remember, after you come to and take a panty for $100 and you put it with $250. I remember one bag of panty have sometimes like 36 a night. Yes, you run it, you just know from once a book, I woman work at a bank and get the sweet lyrics them. You carry your bag, it dead. From this I'll pay money start make a $6,000 panty a lunch I buy.
But this entrepreneurial streak is something that was always in you because you also taught yourself how to trade. Like when we hear lyrics and you say investment, and it's something you live.
Because guess what? It's like, I like to watch ads on YouTube, but oftentimes these ads bring a link back to the person of how they make the money. So you use what they're doing, their methods, and figure out where they get their source from. And then you find somebody from that source that understands. Then what you do, you get them a cut from what you have. Then when you learn, you just create a separate business from that. So that business is still there, that both is actually earning from. But you have one different for yourself, and I know you understand. Different name, different money, different picture. But all things the same person. You make more money.
So what informed the notion now to stop doing that and to go into music? Well, you were writing, but you said you couldn't sing. You had to learn to sing.
So it's like, as a youth, it's like I could write the songs, but to sing it out, I never had the vocals. Like my mama said to me, when we young, you have lyrics in them, but you have to learn to sing better. And to me, like, people don't feel like, I never took that as a diss or anything at all. It's like, I knew. Because it never sounded like a Vibes card or a Movado or a QQ at that time. It just sounded like a voice. Yeah, But as time progresses, I got introduced to autotune. But when I started singing with autotune, I realized I can't mimic, like the sound, I can't mimic it back in real life. So I had to start teach myself how to actually. So I remember this thing called Vocal Coach, a program. I was listening to it for a little while. But then I said, alright, I still understand some of the terminology that this man I use, so I don't know how to work. Then I just continued with my thing and I met Sassy and it's like, that was where the seriousness of the vocal development started, but that was like 2016. The better vocals. When I came to Kingston. That time I came, I'd let me meet this producer named Mandy's at the time. And then he said, yes, I have a vibe. Like, at first, I'm iffy. I never really want to work. I don't want artists, but then, we did a song got messed up and he mixed the song. And then we went on the session and he comes over and he advised me. And he said, you know, say someone I thought that I'm like this one. And from this, I just start working.
Let's talk about that, because it took you 5 years to bust big, and in that 5 years, you say you drove from St. Mary to Kingston every day. You broke in the morning, but you're coming into town, you sleep all about the place so you could be at the studio. But you started out with the chopper and the violence and the sex and the and then you decided this was not the road for you. And when you started to go down the road that you're going down now, people to ask you, what are you doing? So an artist who don't smoke, don't drink, and won't come with these kind of lyrics, how did that work? Why did you transition first of all from the
I think
going on the chopper and the...
It was much more easier to sing violent than sex. But from once you peak there, you peak there. But with the horizon of actually accumulating information and spreading it more, you find out that there is much more substantial. A chopper song could not. Alright, so for instance, I hit that mission big. How long a gun or a sex song could have brought me on many tours? Even, and remember, I never get to utilize or exploit the song in its peak. It was like the riffraffs after. And even to this day, that song is still one of the main pillars of my career. So it's like even though I had semi-hits around that, I'm now newly well hit with like the song called Superhuman from the album 22, because that song's basically hitting right now. Without understanding the heart and the heart of it, I was wondering why everybody running from the positiveness. But because they like them over-commercialize sex, violence, and make it seem like it's a new norm. But if you look around, female have to be sharing because there are less males. There's less. There's so many things that is actually being put into this music. Man can't I don't know if I can even say the word pan TV.
Those, if you don't know, yes, it don't say.
Yeah. So it's like the word be towards a woman. Females don't take that up. And these are like negative connotations as spells.
You were pushing back against that.
Yes, and I start to realize, like, why is it that the black woman are so low? If you realize, even when they talk about themselves, it's almost like, it makes you as a man don't even want them. But if you even dabble off into somebody else's culture, you have to learn their culture. And oftentimes they want to adapt. And as a man, you have to actually be the king of your arena. Females naturally are submissive if they find a man that is actually powerful. You know, it's like, it's effortless.
It's like, it's doing a whole other road. But interesting views. I would love to book you on some of them. I have to take a break and come back. But let's talk about this mission now that you're on to bring this kind of positivity into the space and some of what you faced since stardom has found you. We'll be right back with yaksta after this.
Right.
With you, everybody. So, do you feel alone on this?
It's the mere fact that I don't give care at this point. It's like the mission is not alone, is the people who sometimes make you feel alone. But the mission itself, no. Because every man I get up, there's like 6-7 songs that comes. But the good thing about them are the rhythms. People are selling rhythms, I have more content to create. And so I know it's much more bigger than what I do.
Yeah. Why do you say at this point you don't even care? What do you mean when you say that?
It's like many people will not, alright, they only see the success of it. So it's only that it is packaged and presented as a label or a product, then people follow. So at this point, if I don't get the strength going up, I don't really care, I just continue. If it don't take the next man 6 weeks to reach the peak, take me 6 years, I'm still going to reach. The other thing that I will have more information recorded than you, because you're only synthetic. You get me?
And yours is authentic.
Different
kind of tick.
Yeah.
Since your star has started to really, really rise, you faced a lot more challenges in terms of people and people in the space and people saying you've changed and so. What was that like for you?
Change.
Different and...
Change is inevitable.